Are you ready for your punishment, slave?
I sometimes scream out, no, when really I mean yes.
Yes, yes!
And this is why we have the safe word. Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
She's not a Christian!
Safe word with Jason Rouse.
Rusty. Yeah, we got a pit bull here. Assuming that like you guys are a double act or something.
Yeah, we're taking this on the road. Super dogs and we're
Well,
doing a
that's
little
where
stand-up.
comedy's going now. You that wouldn't be really far. Oh, guy, you know that guy with a pit bull? Got a HBO special.
Yeah. America's Got Talent. He did 7 minutes on that show, and now he's got a residency in Vegas for the next 3 years.
Yeah, it's definitely the whole platform for showcasing talent is so broad now. It used to be like a music and comedy.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
very kind of broken down. Now
Yeah.
you can go up and some guys are doing juggling turtles. And
See, I'd actually like to see that show.
Susan Boyle, though. What about that guy? She looks like an old boxer from the 30s.
What was the one? She launched an album. I'm gonna fuck up this story, but it was Susan Boyle album release, but it looked like bum anal. Like it was all one word. You know, she was trying to do like Susan Boyle album.com or something. So it came like anyway.
And I think out of some of the most ugliest
Google it.
people to ever appear on television, she's appropriately named Susan Boyle, right? Mr. and Mrs. Boyle.
Yeah.
She tried to commit suicide, didn't
No,
she?
she didn't.
No, I think she did.
Did she succeed?
No.
No.
But I think earlier in the X Factor thing, she gained this kind of trajectory of celebrity, and then everyone.
So recently she tried to kill herself.
No. I think when she first we're having a Susan Boyle conversation. Oh, we are off the rails.
Okay. There's cats in here now.
I wouldn't eat her out.
Maybe.
Hey,
Maybe.
you know what? I need a
My
title for a
drinking days.
one-man show. You know,
Yeah.
maybe eating out. Hey, I ate out Susan Boyle, and all I got was this bed sore on my neck. But so let's go back. Let's go back to Wawa, and maybe
My
just
hometown.
before you'd met or moved to Toronto, because I know you'd gone to New York to university for
Yeah.
Acting.
Yeah, we did. I moved from Wawa, my hometown. Was it 5,500 people when I lived there? To Manhattan, 17 million.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so like. I think back. I was just thinking about this the other day. Like how invincible you are when you're 19 years old. Like
Totally.
You know, I remember buying rollerblades that first summer I was in New York. Never been on rollerblades. Just put them on and then rollerbladed through the traffic in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like I would never do that now.
No.
Been like, bought a helmet and wrist guards and taken a class.
Oh yeah, and plus people would have laughed at you now if you would have done that. You know what I mean? It's like, look at this old asshole on rollerblades.
Yeah.
Let's all wait for him to break his wrist. It's gonna happen in a minute.
Yeah, I missed that invincibility.
Well, you still have that, you know.
Yeah. you fall down enough, right? You get a bruise, and that's when you learn from that, right?
There is foresight.
And recovery time is way longer now.
Most definitely.
You know?
But now I think
everything.
as you get older, you have foresight and you know what the consequences are.
Consequences. There's the word.
Remember when that's what it was. You never thought about
Never had
consequences.
No.
You go from a small fishing village in the middle of Canada
Yeah.
to the Big Apple.
Yeah.
And what did you? So you finished high school. You're like, I'm gonna go into
A month.
theater.
Not even a month. I think it was like 3 weeks after graduation. I would move.
You were
from New York.
gone.
I was gone. Yeah.
That's a man
I
with a
was
plan.
gone, just gone. Yeah.
What was there a moment there during your academic career, Wawa, where you looked around and I need to get the fuck out
I
of
remember
here?
having like when I auditioned for the school
It's like
in
epiphany.
Manhattan. The girl that I was dating at the time, I told her I was auditioning for the school, and she said, "No, you're not." And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Wawa's here. New York is way down there, and that's too much space between us, kind of thing. And that was the moment.
Oh, that was you were dating a girl that said that. Yeah,
She
yeah,
said,
yeah.
no, don't even audition because you're going to stay here with me, kind of thing. And that was the moment, literally, where I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, that's that vortex. Next thing you know, kids, and
Yeah.
then you're that small town asshole that you hated.
I would have been that guy.
You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, man.
there's no way around it. You know, you can do all the local town theater as you want, but you're still just going to be some fucking jackass in a small town trying to be
Yeah.
creative, and it's frowned upon in small places, even in Hamilton.
Well, it's funny because like, it's funny. I was talking to David O'Doherty about this from Ireland, right? And Ireland has that across the country where if you leave the country, they want to knock you down a couple of pegs, right? We were talking about U2 and like, why does Irish people like want to take stabs at U2 all the time? You'd think they'd be like, oh, that's our guys. But it's very much like a small town. Like you leave a small town to do something bigger and better. The small town wants to go, well, look at fucking Big Shot, hey, you know?
Totally.
And can't wait for you to fail. Can't wait for you to fall on your face and go like, nah, see? Should have got a
Canadians
job
don't-
at the mill.
Yeah, Canadians are not so much like that. Will be publicized failures in like European and American markets where they sensationalize all everyone's pitfalls and shortcomings.
It's a weird
Oh,
cat
yeah.
attacking me here.
It's gonna be a handbag in about a day and a half. I like to keep them around to send pictures to their families, but I cut their fingers down. Are you
came
afraid of cats?
Well, he just came up and started like
Yeah.
scratching at the thing like,
He's looking at you.
like this is next step is your face.
Yeah, he's a big one. There's a bunch of animals in here. Apparently, they
What do
don't
you mean
fall.
a bunch of animals. Like I see a dog
there's-
and two cats.
There's 2 gay parrots that live in a tool shed in the back, but no one goes in there anymore. They're up all night fucking. There's feathers everywhere.
Rim job.
Rim job. I don't like parrots.
I don't like birds. I'm not a bird fan. Like, why would you
No.
put a bird in a cage? That's the fucking grossest thing I could think of.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Especially, I went to visit some family in New Brunswick about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and it looked like a golden eagle or one of the biggest hawks I'd ever seen, with a deer carcass, and it picked all the meat off its bones. So the
love it.
ribs, I got a shot of the ribs. It's really good.
So cool.
Yeah. I was I tried to sneak up to the bird and start eating the eye of the deer. It's me, Larry. I would love to walk around with, you know what? Maybe a parrot on my shoulder. If we had some sort of agreement.
See, yeah, I've been to like all those resorts in the Caribbean, and they got those guys that walk around with animals on leashes and collars, and all the birds are all clipped, right? They clip their wings. It's like, no, it just fucking breaks. I have so much empathy for animals. Like, if I'm walking down the street and I see like a dog with a limp, I'm like, well, my fucking day's ruined.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
but I
good.
could see
You
like a
wanna-
guy on fire. I'd be like, yeah, he fucking
It is
deserved it.
strange. You'll step over 10 homeless people to pick up your dog's shit.
I know.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm like that with zoos. I don't like zoos.
No, can't do it.
It's terrible.
Any kind of
Well, you
animals is entertainment. Just
the pacing, and you can see that it's slipped into this kind of weird, like what any living thing would be under extreme circumstances of not being able to move in a prison, and it's brutal. I remember when I moved to Vancouver, somebody shot all the flamingos with a crossbow.
well, upstanding citizen. The
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, who calls on? Who picks a fight with a flamingo?
There's no sporting challenge there.
No, they're fucking hilarious.
They're not camouflaged at all.
No, I've never seen them go at it. The Canadian goose, as you know,
Yeah.
being from Wawa, one of
Yeah.
the vicious
Yeah,
land
that's-
animals.
Yeah. Somebody should write a joke about that.
That's
I used to have a joke about because in zoos, I went to a zoo one time and I was on a date. This would be years ago, and this girl told me just as we walked in, she said, "Now watch for the animals if they have like repetitive movement."
that's what I was getting to
It's
in
called,
the zoo.
and I can't remember what it's called. It's like captivity sickness or something,
Yeah.
right? So I was
They'll
watching.
wear a groove in the concrete.
Yeah, so we're
pacing their
looking
whole
at this
lives.
otter, he would climb up on this little ledge and then and go down and then do a figure eight and then go up to the other ledge and then come back and do another figure eight, go back up to his ledge over and over and over again. And then I was in Montreal recently. I went to a strip bar, and the stripper was like spun around the pole, and then she sat down, did a figure eight, and then went back up. And I'm like, oh my God, she's got captivity madness.
Yeah, I love that. And just like at the fish tank at the aquarium, you can get crabs at the strip club. And I think it was Boomer or something telling me that he'd gone to a strip club with a buddy of his, and he got a lap dance and came back and sat down at the table, and under the black light, you could see that she had a big shit stain down the front of his white dress shirt. Oh. So it was
it
looked like he had two ties.
Oh, God. Could have started like a fashion thing now. People are like, hey, that guy's cool, man.
I like strip clubs. I
used to.
Yeah, I don't go for the erections. I go just to see people worse than me. I'm kind of like it's like the Biggest Loser, but in a sexual form.
Do you remember, like, when we were doing amateur night at Yuck Yucks at Young and Eglinton, right? So there was a strip club.
Explain the Young and Eglinton thing.
Yuck Yucks. That was it was called the Super Club, right? Back in the day. Super Club.
Oh, that strip club down down on
Cheaters.
the same side.
Yeah. So I went up on...
I saw Glenn Foster punch a cop in the face in front of him. No.
Come on. Oh, my God. Yeah, I bombed at Yucks one night. Young comic, and I was mad. I fucking left the club, and I was just walking down Young Street, and then I saw Cheaters. I'm like, and it was a Monday night.
Oh, is that a rainbow over that building? It smells like burnt pubis.
Oh, what's going on in here? So this the DJ, like, there's nobody on stage, and Monday night, amateur night was Monday, right?
With a drink, scowling at strippers. Make me happy, cunt.
This DJ says, please, and her name, I swear, it was something like Helen or Mabel or
lady.
It was a lady. Like a lady in her, late 40s, early 50s, and she said,
with a dog ear hanging out of her underwear. Puts her leg up in a bar stool, and the air conditioner kicks on, and her curtain wraps around her leg like a dirty belt. What a pig! Yeah, I know her. I know her.
Yeah, and she said, fuck you, Jerry, I'm not going on.
Fuck you, Jerry.
I'm not doing it.
Get out there, you
This song just keeps playing, and then she, like, walks on stage, and she's mad.
One slipper on and a house coat.
She finishes up the song, and she yells, that's it, Jerry, I'm not doing it. And then the next song comes on, no! I told you I'm not.
Not pour some sugar on me. I can't turn that down, Jerry.
The third song, she said, that's it. No, I'm not doing it. And then the slow song comes on. She's like, for fuck. And she goes off stage and grabs her blanket and comes back on. Nobody's there. Nobody's paying attention.
Oh, it's the blanket from her son's bed. Power Rangers bedroom set. She just throws the whole thing down. It's dirty laundry, shakes it out. Rubs her asshole up against your face and then slaps you on the ass and calls it a night. I don't see the problem.
She finishes up her third song, and then she walks off stage and sits at a table next to me and starts crying. And that's when I realized it wasn't so bad going up on stage and bombing at Yuck Yucks.
Totally.
Like,
you didn't have to show your asshole to one guy in a warehouse in front of Jerry again.
While I was crying.
Yeah. Let me just hike this cheek back so you can see my failures. Oh yeah, that's a bad one. Now. Yeah, that's a tough one to do. A stripper, Stam Tripoli has a bit about that where he's talking about like a toughest gig is like a strip club on a weekday at noon.
Yeah,
that's a tough sell. But I think after a while, it becomes like a thing like you with stand up where fuck, it didn't go well. We'll see what we can pull off on the next show. I've had some
because I the one real amazing part of stand-up is that it's such a creative outlet for us. Like, if I go up there and I bomb, and that it doesn't happen very often anymore, I mean, I'll choose my moments where I'm going to bomb.
Sure.
Right? But if I, like...
Einstein's the next Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to... I can always go up on stage the next time and try something new and try something creative. And it's always, like, flexing that muscle, right? I think with strippers, it's the same show over and over and over again. Like, it's just a matter of making money. Like, it's...
Totally. It's a hustle.
It's a hustle for money,
They've boiled it down to a science. There's a skill set that's involved from the conversation to the whole pitch. Though they got, like, there's some girls I'm like...
No, they want to talk to me. I can tell. No,
They? I think that one really likes me.
I can tell.
She
gave me a number.
Yeah. There's only 4 numbers there.
I got to follow her on Instagram.
Oh, fuck. There's some guys that really fall for that shit.
Is that right?
They hand off. Who was it? I think Corbin was telling me he gave a lot of money away to strippers. I guess.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? A hole's a hole.
I'm trying to think of the last time I was in a strip club. I think it's been a couple years now.
Well, you lived by one of my favorite ones for quite some time.
Back in the day, yeah.
Was it Jilly's?
Jilly's, yeah. I lived across the street from Jilly's.
Yeah, where the urinal was on stage. You'd have a piss behind the girl.
When John Doerr shot his TV show, they did an episode. They filmed there.
Oh.
But they shot in the daytime.
Oh no.
So it was like
the lights were on.
Yeah, we walked in with the lights on and went like, "Oh my god, this place." Like we said, we should walk around with like a hand towel and like just wipe down edges and doorknobs and then send it to a lab and then see what it comes. But like it's everything. Oh, everything is on this.
A bunch of crying fathers. That's what you'd get. That's what would come back from the lab. Like all of them. Yeah, all of these girls. That's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it was a...
I've been naked, but it's all under the umbrella of humor. But to try and arouse somebody, I can't arouse anybody.
There was a girl, John Doerr and I used to go there all the time for last call. Just, we'd be...
Jilly's?
Just Jilly's for last call. And this girl comes up and says, "Do you guys like a dance?" And we're like, no, it's... we just sat down. Always polite, eh? No, we just sat down. So she comes back about like 3 songs later. It's like, "Okay, you guys ready for that dance now?" I'm like, you know what? I think we're just going to hang out here tonight. So it's last call, and then she comes over and says, when you guys give me $20? I'm like, what? She said, I need cab fare. And I went, you went from stripper to panhandler.
Yes.
Like,
that's a bad one.
That's a tough night.
But she's not even spending it on cabs. She's spending it on for stitches for her asshole. She's got to get a staple gun from the hardware store.
I'm still hung up on the dog ear hanging out of it.
I know. It's pierced, but with an arrow, not a ring. From when she was a teenager, she went on a camping trip, and she was taking a step over a rock, and everyone thought it was a rhinoceros here.
I see.
And
I thought you were going with a fishing lure.
A lawn dart right in her fucking piss mitt. Yeah, I know. I don't know why I'm single either. But what are you going to do, right? So you moved from Wawa, you show up in Toronto, because I remember, I think you were you working, because it was the Works at that time. I think weren't you working at the Comedy Works at all, or
Comedy Works? Like the Laugh Resort? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yes.
Yeah.
When it was
Laugh
downtown.
Resort. Yeah.
I think then you came over quite early in your career, which like a lot of guys did for opportunity.
If I'm remembering the timeline correctly, like I had met you before I started with Yuck Yucks, that's for sure.
Yeah, we crossed paths because we were all on the same beaten path, open mics,
amateur night and whatnot.
And then,
but yeah, like the Laugh Resort was like the first club that kind of gave me like weekend spots, and I worked with Louis C.K. the first weekend I was ever like working a weekend.
How was that?
It's one of those stories I love telling because I was a young comic, like 26 or 25 years old, thinking, oh, I'm hot shit here. And I went up on a Friday night, early show, did my 15 minutes, rocked it, and then watched Louis C.K. fucking destroy for an hour. Fuck. And then we hung out in between the 2 shows, and he was bumming cigarettes off me and telling me stories about working for Conan. And I was like, oh, he's a nice guy. And then goes back up, late show. I did my same 15 minutes, and then he did a different hour.
Yeah.
So I remember being so young and impressionable. I'm like, fuck, I got so much work to do.
Oh, yes.
It was great. It was great.
The same night, flipping the script. And that was 15 years ago?
That would be, oh my God, yeah, 18 years ago. Exactly, yeah.
So he was already laying tracks.
Oh, yeah.
For content, it's something to watch.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, there was a spark there that I knew. I was like, holy shit, this guy is gonna.
You got to work with a lot of guys because the resort would bring in acts like the comedy. There's other clubs that brought a lot of acts from the States.
Right.
So you get because I think Mitch Hedberg was there.
Yeah.
Did he get arrested for smoking a joint in the alleyway behind the club? In between
real
sets.
Story? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
A cop on a bike, I guess, had pulled up, and he was there smoking. Cops on bikes are the worst.
Mitch Hedberg busted in Toronto. I didn't know that story.
In between at the resort.
But yeah, I remember working with Todd Barry at the Laugh Resort and Mark Maron.
Yeah.
Like all these guys, like I think back, I'm like, holy shit, I was like at a privileged spot there.
Yeah.
Nick Rhodes.
Tom Rhodes.
Tom Rhodes, sorry.
Ah, okay,
Tom
cool.
Rhodes. Fuck, am I saying Nick Rhodes? Tom Rhodes.
And then you're like, okay, I want to get better. I'm out here. I'm going to kind of show my face at the Yuck Yucks.
The other club, yeah. So that was one thing that Yucks still offer people is touring around. Like you get to go to, Vancouver to Newfoundland,
Yeah, you can see the country.
So at the time, I was a Toronto-based comic and just making splashes here in Toronto. I was like, I got to try and get my comedy out there. And I knew that I had to branch out and write jokes that all Canadians would like to listen to, right? So that's one thing Yucks gave me. They
gave you a broad canvas to work with.
Yeah.
And also, for me, which has been a gift and a curse, I was allowed to do whatever I wanted.
Right.
So that I put that to the test. As far as censorship went, it wasn't there.
Yeah,
And I thought everybody would be like that. So indirectly, they created this fucking monster now who just terrorizes very small villages.
That's how you found your voice. Was just like if
I think I had a voice before I had material. People probably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It took me a long time to kind of build some sort of structure and content there, but there was it was weird, man. But it was good, man. It was like Patterson and you and Gavin and Haywood and Martin and there was about I think maybe about 10 to 12 guys that we were all kind of we came from a good school.
We did.
Like that was a solid class.
I always think of that that Yucks crew, and then like my real high school was Spirits. Like it was like me and Joanna Downey and Christine Von Hagen and Ophir Eisenberg and JT Huntley and Paul Haywood and oh my God, all these but we were at Pollock. Yeah, like all these guys are not around anymore. But it was such a supportive room. Like we would sit there in the back of the room watching each other's act, and then they'd walk off stage and be like, "Hey, what about you call back to this joke, or what if you open with this?" And hey, what about this angle on that joke? Like we would help each other.
There was
write
some
our own
camaraderie
because there was no competition. Like there was no. There was no.
We
were
were
only
just happy to be there.
Be on stage. Yeah.
Fuck, we're all from shitty places. There was a handful of guys that were Toronto-based guys, but the majority of us were just like, dude, this is better than anything that I got going at home.
Paid in beer tickets. It was the best.
And just seeing a lot of the comment, that room was fucking jumping though. We used to rip that in half.
Yeah, it's like without Spirits, I don't think I would be a comic. Like I think that's where like what you got from Breslin and Yuck Yucks being just like don't censor yourself, go out there and do what you want.
The Groundhog Pub helped me a lot along too.
Yeah, Kenny Robinson's room.
Yeah,
the Groundhog.
Those are. Well, they're both. Well, I ran into the waitress, the blonde lady that worked downstairs.
Yes.
She lives in Pasadena, in California.
No kidding.
Her and her boyfriend came out to my
God.
show at the Ice House. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was so wild.
Wow.
Oh, I'm married now. It's so nice to see you guys. And blah blah blah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So that's 17 years ago. 17 years ago. Yeah, it's insane. Well,
we're old men.
Yeah.
Sitting on a front porch yelling at kids. Get out of here, you young kids.
Yeah, I think I've just gotten less tolerance for bullshit as I've gotten older. That's the only thing that's really changed.
Yeah, I think that's a quality for sure as you get older. Another one is just, I quickly realized, like, you don't have to be friends with everybody. Like, you know what I remember being such a people pleaser in my 20s, trying to be friends with everybody. Now I don't fucking care. Like, no.
It's great, isn't it?
I get a stink off somebody. I'm like, yeah, I'm done with them. I'm
totally.
done.
I've had people obsess over relationships with people that didn't like them to begin with, and I'm like, what are you upset for? Amputation.
Yeah, done.
Just cut it off.
Move along.
Any relationships and stuff. I'm just, they're like, oh, you angry at me? I'm like, dude, I just don't care.
Right.
I don't care. Why would I? I'm doing shit.
Yeah.
You're
just always surround yourself with the creative, because there's so many
killjoys.
Like energy vampires, you call them. Just like they suck the life out of you,
in
right?
the Satanic Bible, by the way.
Is it really?
They call them psychic vampires.
Psychic vampires.
Yeah, they're like ticks. And they just
is this something from Dungeons and Dragons? Or
no. I'm building a little more of a character around it, but it's just people that when you walk away, you just feel exhausted.
That's a real thing. That's for sure.
Fuck,
yeah.
why am I depressed?
Right.
Now?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's me. I'm that asshole.
Not at all. No, that's not true. I wouldn't be here. I purposely go out and seek out people that are, creative and inspiring. The people
Definitely.
that want to go like, you throw
Maybe
an idea
not-
out in the air
not
and be
even-
like, oh my God, run with that. That's great.
Totally.
That's the
Anything
people you
that
want to be with.
creates momentum in a direction that's uplifting. There's so many people. Why are you going to do that for? Naysayers. They're just like, I'm like,
Right.
fuck off.
Yeah.
And it's when you're in a situation where you can't escape them, but you're trying to focus on something, and you've got dummy in the background, and it's just like you're ruining this, man. You're ruining it by your presence.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
So that's something we can do in our 40s now, is just recognize that immediately,
Yeah.
and move on.
It's definitely a skill that some people don't know hone.
Right.
You always see the people like,
I wish I had it in my 20s, that's for sure.
yeah, well, that
Yeah.
whole, I'm supposed to be friendly guy because I'm in comedy and I need to be in the business and
Yeah.
I don't want to be a
Always
a
polite, but
liability.
like,
yeah.
not going out of my way to
Yeah,
be friends with people.
now I guess I could think people expect me to be an asshole a lot of the
Yeah?
time. Oh yeah, I've had people because I'll get some fucking drunks or something will come up and they'll just start berating me. Like I'm sitting there having a coffee at the end of the bar after the show. You're pretty funny. Oh, you piece of shit.
Hey.
Oh, who are those? Like, oh, they're fans. I've had people tell me to go fuck myself and then wave at me on the street. Hey, Rouse, fuck you. I love your shit. Your mother's a pig. Yeah, it's
Great.
And I'll be with somebody and I'll have to explain.
Oh.
This is a form of.
Yeah, this is my
I have a lot
base.
of broken people that follow my shit, so this is their way of putting a rose in my hair and kissing me on the cheek. But what good?
That's great.
Because we both kind of went off and started headlining. So
Yeah.
and
And that was the kind of, I think back on those times, that was the worst thing that happened in my comedy career. It was like
Going
becoming a
headlining?
professional and like turning this
Yeah.
into an industry, So now it's like, I was going out there and just being creative and just hanging out with your buddies and, and it was like a fun thing to do. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, now it's a job. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's amazing.
yeah,
but
you've done most of your work in your underwear at the kitchen table.
so
You know
true,
what I
you
mean?
know?
I'm in the office.
I'm walking the dog and I'm at work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, that moment where I was like, you start depending on it for
Well,
your
you
income,
become your own
for
boss.
yeah.
You become your own company. You're
So many of those, like I was just in Winnipeg talking to some of the local guys out there, and they're asking, like,
How do I get out of here?
just keep your fucking job, man. Like, put your day job the last thing that you can never do. Like,
Yeah.
just keep that. Because the sooner you put pressure on your art to make it into your income, that's hard, man.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's a real pain in the ass carrying that additional stress.
It was way more fun working for beer tickets than it was for
It was.
filing taxes and
Oh,
fucking.
Yeah, those are the adult things that we've been running from, like
That's
filing
it.
taxes.
Yeah, exactly it.
And you were you were in Winnipeg doing Rumors.
Rumors Comedy Club.
I come back. I
Yeah.
feel like an idiot because every time I flip on the Comedy Network, I'm seeing some sort of gala or festival that you're performed at.
Oh,
And I'm with my friends. That's my buddy. And they're like,
Nice.
yeah, hey,
nice.
whatever. Sure it is. No, I got his number. Like a jackass. I'm just more or less excited to see friends of mine on TV.
Yeah,
And,
it's funny. Those galas used to be
prestigious.
very prestigious. Like it was like the creme de la creme. Like
you
you were.
killed that.
Fuck, did it ever? Hey. Now it's now you do a gala and people tune in. And I'll get maybe half a dozen emails. Be like, hey, good show.
Yeah.
Whereas before it'd be like, oh my God, you've got a career now. Like
There's so many other options for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Just on your phone alone, how many different video game apps is there?
Right.
There's 100 billion ways to be distracted from. I think like people watch Carson, and you were a made man off of a Carson appearance.
Right.
Well, now I show up at the Irvine Improv, and it's packed on a Wednesday. And they're telling me that there's a Vine star doing a guest spot
my God.
who's never done stand-up.
Right.
There's 300. I come into the club, and like, it's packed. These kids doing a guest spot.
Right.
And it's packed. It looks like a Saturday Night Late Show, and
A
this
Vine
is
star.
Office. Yeah, yeah. I met agents that specifically. I remember the first time I heard it, I thought he was joking.
Right.
I rep social media stars, and I'm like, what? There's agents for people that make those 7-second videos.
Yeah.
My friend, he does a lot of that and work with a young lady. For her to appear in your Vine video, $5,000.
Oh, so that's how they make money.
Yes.
They appear in other people's
Other
Vines?
videos, and then through
Where's that dog?
bad dog ear. A girl, like they make a small fortune off of Instagram.
I
But
didn't
a
know
lot
that.
of these girls are. Do you have an Instagram?
Yeah, I got an Instagram.
Yeah. I think I follow you,
Yeah.
and you'll see. I'll come across something. They'll never add me. It's I look at this girl's Instagram, like 1 million followers.
Right.
It's purses.
Yeah, it's
flowers, shoes, a boat, her this. It just what?
so
What?
she posts photos of that, and then they
Yeah.
they pay her money to
It-
get that out there. Is that
Yeah,
how?
yeah. Well, all she has to do is hashtag the product that's
Right.
in the shot,
Right.
and she gets a percentage off of how many likes. So they go after. There's I guess companies that outsource these Instagram or social media people
Yeah.
and start sliding in promotional stuff. Hey, we'll give you $10,000
Right.
if you use this moisturizer and hashtag us in it.
Whoa.
It's insane. Remember
Whoa.
when you had to be interesting and creative?
Yeah, and fuck, man.
No, we're all depressed.
Well, no, it's also another thing too.
It's a sign of the times.
If you're an artist, like you wouldn't sell out back in the day to a face cream, or you wouldn't
no
sell
one's
out
got
to
any
like some
street
kind of.
cred anymore.
No, it's just like
It's a hot dog of entertainment just pouring
churning it out, right? Like, and now like bands don't make videos anymore. They want to get into a commercial, which was the opposite of what it was
Yeah.
15 years ago. Like the
Yeah.
last thing you wanted to do is sell out to a beer commercial.
Wait, just seeing a hot topic, seeing Ramon shirts in the window, and it's like that would. Are they all dead? Because this is not what it was, right?
Hot
Wasn't it
topic, yeah.
fuck-
You can buy it at the mall now.
There's so many. That's what I mean. The underground always becomes mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
I remember somebody. I was at this. I went to this fetish party.
Okay.
Oh, and when I lived in
All
England.
right. What's gonna happen with the dog ear now?
Oh, I
Just,
did see something fucked up.
No,
though.
really?
Yes, it was weird for me. It was weird for me.
All right. Give me a bucket
Okay,
before you tell the
so
story.
listen to this.
Okay.
I'm in England. I lived in London, and I attract a sort folk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I met this girl, I think at the Reading Festival when I interviewed Slayer.
Right. Oh,
And
fuck, it's such a cool moment.
that was great. I was pretty emotional, as you can see in that
Yeah.
clip. And I met this girl. Turns out she's a freak. She had a tattoo. Before she was 19, she had a tattoo of a zipper on her piss flaps and a zipper tag at the top. So it looked like someone had opened up her cunt like an old wallet from the 40s.
That's actually kind of brilliant.
Yeah, it was great. As a teenager, who does that? I'd burn my daughter if she did that. That was her first tattoo.
That was
Was
the
her
first one.
Was her cunt? Like she wasn't covered
First
in
one,
tattoos.
right,
She
just-
only had a few. So she tells me to come to this.
I kinda like it.
It's called Torture Garden. You can type in Google. Go type in Torture Garden. It's one of the best parties I've ever been to. So everybody, it's like a fetish club, but it's like couture. Like it's really nice stuff. Like there's people wearing $10,000 worth of latex custom, like almost Pan's Labyrinth type.
yeah,
Think
yeah.
of Pan's Labyrinth
Right.
with cum shots flying everywhere, just crisscrossing like
Guys with-
geysers in Iceland.
Eyeballs in the middle of his palm,
Oh.
but there's a dildo inside his fingers. And
I had a guy come over and start massaging my girlfriend's foot. I almost smashed a chair over his face. I go, and then I realized there's an etiquette here, and she just shooed him away, and he left like, "Hey, sorry."
Oh,
Went into
God.
the table, put his finger in his ass, and started crying. Baby bad.
my precious.
My baby bad. So I go, it's called Torture Garden. It's an old church in Brixton. And as soon as you
Are
come
they
out-
paying you money to say this on the podcast?
No,
Is
no,
that
no. I just think
like
it's a
you're
lot
an
of
Instagram
fun.
star now?
You go in, there's a dress code, right? So I think I wore a suit, and I brought my friend from Finland, who's a little chubby, and he had tits that looked like pine cones.
God.
And they had him, because he showed up in like a not enough fetish wear, so we can't let him in like that. And my girlfriend goes, well, take off his shirt, and and he takes off his shirt. And I pointed at him, and I go, look at you. So you got a pasty white Finnish guy, this Estonian girl, my girlfriend and myself go into this club, and it's kind of Eyes Wide Shut meets Blade. There's little fashion shows and stuff. So I go to the middle of the dance floor. I'm in awe, and she gets on her knees and starts sucking me off.
Oh my God!
Right on the dance floor, right, like, blowing me. Like I can't fuck standing up. My knees give out. I broke my wrist on a. And so I'm trying to reach, but there's nothing there. I'm in the middle of the dance floor, getting sucked right off.
Like as soon as you walked in there, that's how the
No, it was
party
from
started.
my girlfriend.
Right.
Sucked me off.
Right. No,
I'm
get
not just
it.
some drifter.
That guy that was massaging your feet.
I was
came up
dressed
like-
as Michael Landon in Highway to Heaven with my cock in my hand. That's terrible. So I look over. There's a guy. He's missing his legs above his knee. He's sitting on the edge of the stage. He's wearing like a leather harness and stuff, and his boyfriend's there. And he's having a piss into a beer bottle, watching
Holy
the fashion
shit.
show. And I'm just like, fuck. And I'm getting a blowjob. I'm having this weird moment. I'm watching this guy with no legs piss in a bottle. And then his boyfriend grabs a piss bottle and just starts pounding this piss bottle. And I couldn't come for some reason. It was weird. It was a weird night.
Well, it's probably a good thing that you couldn't, because then that's how fetishes start, and then that's the only way you get off now is if a legless man pisses on a guy in front of you.
No, it had to be out of a beer bottle. I'm no animal. Yeah, it was weird.
You go to very different parties than I do. I remember one time I went to a party, man, they had a hockey game on. It was really good.
Someone ate all the chips.
We had some chips.
I couldn't
and
believe
then,
that guy.
Man, it was, we ran out of booze, and a guy went and got another bottle, and yeah, it was a pretty good party too, but legless guy.
I'm somewhere else, man. I'm somewhere else most of the times, not only in my head, but in my life.
Yeah, you're a globetrotter, man. Like, you're living a lifestyle that many people would fucking kill for, man.
Yeah, well, I never got married. I never had kids.
Thank God.
I remember hearing Jason Newsted talking about, before, he's married to his craft.
Right.
And, yeah.
I get it. Yeah. Yeah, as someone that's come through a marriage, it's like, I get it. Like,
it's hard. There's a couple of times I thought I was going to get married, but it didn't. And there's so much. I don't like to be in a power struggle in a relationship between my craft and with monotonous fucking chirping. What are we talking about? What is your point? Maybe I have bad communication skills, but probably the reason that probably 85% of my fan base is dudes from 18 to Slayer t-shirts. That's about it. Maybe I got
guys that piss into beer bottles.
Yeah. You know what? I bet you if I gave the guy a DVD, he would
be
enjoyed
like
it.
all over your show.
He would have enjoyed it. Which is my album is available on iTunes. Rotten, and you, thanks. I saw that in the feed. You
I got one.
Purchased
right away.
one.
Yeah.
How would you think of the song "Daddy's Pussy"?
How did it do? Did it debut?
Oh,
high?
I've been blocked from iTunes.
Oh,
now.
it doesn't go on iTunes.
No, it's on iTunes. I haven't really looked at the numbers yet.
Oh, wow.
I'm waiting for it to exceed a certain amount, and then I get a kind of payout at the end.
Yeah. It's always exciting when you get to, like, you see it chart. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I remember my album debuted. I knocked Russell Peters out of the top 10. Fuck, it felt good.
Yeah.
Fuck, it felt good.
It's just one day.
Just
in
like,
the sun. One day.
It wasn't even a day. I think it was just a few hours.
Just a few. That's all it
hours
is.
in the top
And
10.
then someone noticed, and they just shut him down.
Yeah.
It's so. Do you sell merch at your? Well, what's your? It's King.
Comic Kong is my
Comic
album.
Con,
yeah. I've got the DVDs. I'm not going to do DVDs ever again. Those just
No?
don't. Well, I don't think people have DVD players anymore, right?
No,
So
it's all digital downloads.
So
I think again, Louis C.K.'s kind of what do you call it? retooled the whole way to
Yeah.
distribute comedy.
Right.
You know, now the other industry, I don't even know who watches comedy on television anymore.
Yeah, good point. Like,
You know,
who watches television when it's actually on television?
It
Like,
really looks
it's
like
only sports and news.
Yeah, I think it's going out of business,
Interesting, yeah.
or it's kind of it's the
Like the streaming, that seems
Yeah.
to be like the, like if you're gonna put out a comedy now, it'd be like put out a comedy that just like boom, like you can
Yeah.
watch it all at once, kind of thing.
people can download it or they stream it. You
Right.
know, there's all different, and there's so many DIY type media platforms now
Right.
that you can distribute.
Well, let's get some Vine stars together, and we'll.
Fuck. I know. It breaks my heart. I look at the Instagram shit, and I'm like, what?
We're
I'm
out there
dying out here.
We're driving out to Whitby to perform at a TGI Fridays.
I
so
think
that
I
we
just
can,
did that 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's how I got that bite mark behind my ear. Fucking locals.
And all it took was just get your cell phone out and then do some kind of silly walk into a wall, and then you're a Vine star.
Look at Kramer. Michael Richards.
Right.
Somebody just had a phone, made him famous again.
Yeah,
Made him really popular.
yeah, really popular amongst I think the Mark Furman crowd.
Oh yeah, he's. I used to see him. I saw him around.
Yeah.
I was living in Los Angeles around that time, and he'd been. I guess had been bombing most of the shows.
Right.
Some of the clubs were not really pleased to have him, and I guess some black comics were on the balcony like chirping him.
Oh yeah.
And Sign of the Times, he pulls a fucking Andy Kaufman, Mel Gibson, and goes off.
So
on the
yeah,
guys
so
and-
that's the backstory. Like he was bombing for a while, and
yeah,
so
yeah. I
career
think
wasn't
and they
working
were
out.
like heckling them. It's very, comics can be pretty brutal. Just because you got a hit movie or TV show, if you're bringing weak game to a stand-up medium,
That's what comedy is, just the great equalizer. I remember being, performing at the Improv in LA and like following Drew Carey,
yeah,
and the place went fucking crazy
Yes.
for the first minute and a half.
yes,
And then he settled into his act, and,
Yeah.
and it like he was working on stuff, so it wasn't polished, it wasn't funny.
totally,
Walked off stage to a lot of like, no, that was all right, and
Yeah.
then I followed him, no problem.
yeah. It's
a great
wild to
equalizer.
see the they're in the same boat, they're in the same process,
Yeah.
in performing and being on stage. And I've totally lost. I got hypnotized. You got a big crystal skull next to you, and
Right.
I was looking into its eyes.
And what did it tell you something?
No. No, I just saw something shiny and it was over.
Yeah,
But here we are.
you're back.
I just getting wipe this drool off my chin, and that's about it.
It's an amazing skull, actually, that I'm sitting. It looks like it's made out of chainmail, like very medieval.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I'm
But-
gonna steal that before I leave. Oh, the sink won't flush, and neither does the bathtub either.
Oh,
Somebody took a dump.
Ooh.
in the sink.
I didn't think you were going to be in town. Like when I got back to town, I thought you were.
I was supposed to leave about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be leaving on Thursday, it looks
Okay.
like.
And where are you heading back to?
I'm going to New York for
Yeah.
a month and a half.
Oh, nice.
And then I'll be in LA for the July 1st show at the Comedy Store.
Oh, cool, man.
And then I'm not sure what's happening. I'm waiting to hear back for some stuff in Europe that might be in the fall, late summer,
Yeah.
or something like that.
You gonna look up Berg in New York?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
probably see Berg down there,
Yeah.
and I saw Alex Pavone.
Oh, yeah, he's
around.
down
I
in
see
LA.
him pretty
Or
regularly.
in New York, yeah.
A couple other people, a lot of Canadians in LA.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, any chance to live under a nice shining sun
Yeah.
is
I get it,
always
man.
great, and
I get it now that I'm divorced. Like I have no roots anymore, right?
Perfect.
So
perfect. Come down to California when the weather's shit.
I agree.
You got no kids.
No kids.
That's what I mean. I meet some younger comics and stuff. I go, you got no kids? You can do whatever
Just
the
fucking
fuck you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What do you want? Go for it.
Yeah. So I've gone to LA on a couple of occasions and done some showcases, and I
Yeah.
liked it. Then my girlfriend and I were down in Las Vegas last year, and she got robbed.
What?
They robbed her wallet out of her purse, so they took her passport.
Pickpocket?
Pickpocket, yeah. So we had to. She had no passport, couldn't get back into Canada. So we had to go to LA to get her a new passport. So spent 3 or 4 days, I guess, in LA while this is all being processed, and I loved it. I fucking like it was. It was the first time I went to LA that I didn't have like
Business,
high pressure
agenda,
showcases.
yeah.
It was just like hang out. Let's go see
Tourist.
a movie. Yeah, just go to the grocery store and get some groceries.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved
Yeah,
it,
it's
man. Like
fucking unreal.
drive a
isn't it?
car everywhere and yeah, and
every
then drive
day
out
we
to Santa
wake up.
Monica and then check it out and
It's good and good food.
great food, man.
Like the Mexican food is the shit.
Sure,
I love it.
sure.
What's your favorite food?
Yeah, I could go for Mexican right now.
What about a 7-layer burrito from Taco Bell?
No,
Just
I draw
rubbed
the
on
line.
your chest.
I don't think I've ever had Taco Bell. You know that?
Oh, I've
I've
had
never-
Taco Bell.
never
She was
done
a
it.
stripper in Hamilton.
Yeah.
She had one of those big dog ears.
Please welcome to Taco Bell. No, Jerry, he told you I'm not going on.
Yeah. How come there's a stripper pole in the dining area and there's ashtrays? Can we smoke in here? Sure you can. Just close the curtains. I saw a stripper in London kick a guy in the face because he goes, "You're not worth my money." Fuck you.
Koosh.
Boot.
Nice.
With like 2 phone books taped to a bottom of a flip flop. She made her own fucking stripper boots. They're worse off.
That's great.
But
They are worse off. Oh my god.
that's gross. So I guess around 2001, I think you went and worked for Strombo. You were like a staff writer.
2001. Oh god, no.
No,
That was 2009, I guess.
2009.
Yeah, the end of that
I
decade.
started making some trips early 2000 to Europe,
Yeah.
and we kind of went on trajectory. After headlining at Yuck Yucks, we were all kind of looking and go, well, what's next?
Yeah.
You know.
Just for Laughs was the big thing, and then I got that, and then I remember making
You've done a
decision.
couple galas, haven't you?
I've done 4 now.
4 Just for Laughs galas?
Yeah. So that
Fuck, that's
second
great.
one, I was mid-30s, and I thought this is my shot. Like this is the time
The
that
breakout.
this is my breakout year.
I sitcom.
Yeah. Whooped myself
NBC.
into shape. Never been in better shape in my life. And I put it out there. I'm like, either someone from America is going to go like, hey, man, let's work on some stuff. Get you down to the States. Or I'm going to shift gears completely and go into writing. I'm going to start. And, made a fucking huge splash. Just for Laughs, got a standing ovation on my gala. And it ended with, hey, neat. And that was the end of that, you know? So
Oh, yeah.
3 weeks later, I was working for Strombo.
Yeah.
3 weeks later.
Because I did like, I don't know how many, 8 nasty shows. And
Right.
weaseled onto the Uptown show. I got a,
Yeah.
a semi-standing ovation at the all-black show that I wasn't even scheduled to be on. Rocked the nasty shows. Nothing.
Yeah.
Not a business card. That's a kind of dated business model now.
It
It's
is,
Going
but
to
People still get like business cards. They
Oh,
still
yeah,
get
yeah.
discovered at
There's business.
at
It's
Just for Laughs.
subsided though. The spikes of you got a deal, kid.
Yeah.
Get in the van.
That was done before we even got into the scene. Like
Yeah,
it was,
we missed that window
that
because it
hole.
was after that chicken. Remember chicken?
yeah, Chicken fucked it up, and
And
I
that
mean,
was it.
there's a
They
couple of our contemporaries that got some deals or whatever.
Sure.
But it's never been what it was like.
No.
You know, a $250,000 holding deal or a $500,000 deal come down to LA, and like that just never happened. Guys get representation from Just for Laughs, but
Yeah,
that's
you get a friend to hang out with in the States.
yeah. If you're 24
If you're
years
lucky.
old and they like, holy shit, this guy's gonna make a splash here. Like, yeah, let's latch onto this guy. But a guy in his mid-30s that they're just like, yeah, we don't need you. Let's
No.
you know,
we
we got lots of those guys.
We've got a lot of guys in our backyard.
Yeah.
So
Again, you just got to build your own path. So
totally. And isn't it great, like this, the podcasting and all that
Oh,
shit?
the lights are on
We've
now.
been sitting in the dark
We have.
for
Oh,
45
you're a man.
minutes. It's me, Pete.
who's been rubbing my feet?
Like the chick ever
Get out of here, you.
let the right one in. Have you seen that?
I have.
Yeah, that
Both
girl.
versions, yeah.
That she jumps on his neck.
Yeah. It's such a great movie.
Yeah, the Swedish
The
one. I
Swedish
find-
version is
yeah,
brilliant.
They just
Brilliant.
kind of carbon copied the Swedish one. I think they had the same actress play it.
It was not disappointing, but it was like, look at this cat. What are you doing?
There's a kitty.
Yeah, my allergies are already kicking in.
Aren't you allergic to dogs?
No, just cats.
Just cats.
Yeah. And they know that I'm allergic,
Look at
right?
him.
So they go like, "Oh, I'm gonna."
He's gonna rub his asshole up and
Yeah,
down
I'm
your
gonna
shirt
rub it
like
right on
that
your
stripper.
eyelids.
Yeah, I'm allergic to nothing.
No,
Probably
that's great.
pollen.
But you can get rid of allergies too. Do you know that? Like you can grow out of allergies.
You. Oh, I thought you just burned the pets.
Yeah, you get rid of the pets. That's one way. But yeah, you can
shit.
You can outgrow it. Yeah, he's up on your back of your chair now, looking around.
And we go from the Yuck Yucks.
Yeah,
You go get a ride.
yeah. You went to Europe. I went and got into writing. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what I've been doing for the last 6 years. I guess it's just worked on Strombo. I worked on a show called The Ron James Show. Worked on a show called Still Standing, and then writing for some odd jobs that come up here and there.
Sure.
Um,
That must be weird. Not that you're clearly capable, but going from like hanging out in the green room on a lot and doing shows, then you're in a desk situation.
yeah, in the boardroom. Yeah,
and you're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
I don't know these animals.
yeah. It was trial by fire that first job I got with Strombo because I was the comedy writer on the show. Everyone else had like a journalist background, or one girl we worked with was
And
nominated
you're
for.
subjected to non-comic views on what you're doing. Oh well, I don't think that's funny, but I'm the comedy specialist.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No?
Yeah, absolutely. It was.
You get into why we.
There's a reason I did it 1 year, and that was.
Yeah,
it,
yeah. I vaguely remember you talking about
Yeah,
it.
it was. I'm forever grateful that Strombo gave me that shot because it opened up a million doors for me, like getting out there and doing
Yeah, he's
more
very
writing jobs.
reputable, and was it CBC, right?
It was at CBC. Yeah,
That's pretty
So,
cool.
Yeah, yeah. We did 162 episodes. That's
Why
bizarre.
is security so? It's like airport security at the CBC. Is it because it's a government building?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
You get a visitor's pass.
Yeah, you get a visitor's pass and you got to get walked through
Mouth
security.
swabbed.
Yeah, I never even put it together. I don't know why. It's
I was like, what do they do up there? There's some eyes wide shut. That's the thing. When you repress people, there's a backswing to that. So the CBC is like a children's hospital. There's a lot of kind of sterile things going on in there. But the guy who runs the fucking place upstairs, you know what he does? He fucks dogs at gunpoint. I don't know his name yet, but I'm going to find out who the fuck he is. Because all the people that claim moral high ground are some of the most deviant, hypocritical pieces
absolutely.
of shit.
And I remember Sharon Osbourne saying that exact phrase because remember the Osbourne TV show was a big splash.
Yeah.
And it was Bill Cosby that was coming out and going, they shouldn't be swearing on the TV
Oh,
and
Bill.
all that. And then Sharon Osbourne she said, those are the first people that you should look at really closely is the ones that
Definitely.
are claiming the high ground. And then sure enough, here we
The
are
guilt.
years later, he's fucking drugging and raping women around the country.
Speaking of rape, what's going on with that retarded guy in Montreal and that French? I've been following it, but I'm not interested enough, and I'm being lazy by asking you
You're right.
because I know that you're on point with news.
His name is Mike Ward. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, he's been acquitted or something today, or I saw something in a feed. I followed him. I'm not sure of his racket or what, but it's a censorship issue.
It was no rape. There was no rape involved.
Oh,
I
well, I
know,
read it wrong.
disappointing.
In my fantasy, the guy in the wheelchair gets raped by him. I thought that's because a lot of the papers were in French. I just assumed he raped. What's the retarded guy's name?
The way that they're making it out that he was like this monster. Mike
Was he
Ward.
raped?
No, Mike Ward is a comic, and he made a joke about this kid that had some kind of
Muscular
degenerative disease
from
I
the
guess,
rapes.
Right? Probably from the rapes. So he launched a singing career.
Oh, the retarded guy
Yes.
that was raped.
Yeah, he was not raped.
Oh.
Not raped. But he
Well,
got
it
to
looks
sing for the
the way
Pope.
it's spelled in French. It looks like je te le rape.
Je te le rape.
Je te le rape.
There's your album title.
Je te le rape. Merci.
So Mike Ward made a joke about this kid going to sing for the Pope, and the kid filed a grievance with the, what do they call it now?
Don't you find that there's some parallels between the Pope getting sung to by a kid in a wheelchair who's already at crotch level? He could just fall forward.
See, that's basically what Mike's joke, I think, was.
He's
Like,
gonna suck.
along those kind of lines or whatever. This kid felt like he was persecuted and his singing career was ruined
He
because
should
of...
be. Have you seen him? He's hideous.
So, so they... the Human Rights Tribunal is what it came down to, and then they made a...
Is that a national thing or just a province?
I think it was a provincial, the
Okay.
provincial legislature, or the tribunal anyway. So it's basically, instead of suing Mike, and you have to go out and get a lawyer and do all that, they go to this tribunal, and then it's just the taxpayers have to pay for it, kind of thing. So Mike's lawyers told him, it was like, well, just pay him the 80 grand because it's going to be way more in legal fees than that. And he was like, no, I'm going to fucking stand up for this because this is not right. Like, I should be able, as a comedian, to say whatever I want.
And it's already been. We tried this 50 years ago. Didn't they throw
Right.
Lenny Bruce?
Lenny Bruce is,
Yeah.
again, it's in the States. So it's a little bit different in Canada because, anyway,
You
we got in.
feelings?
We got into the whole legal aspect of it. Like in the States, they have freedom of speech, whereas in Canada, we have freedom to express ourselves, and it's a long list of things. So
Sure.
we don't have the exact same phrase as freedom of speech. So that's where lawyers can go like, oh, there's a gray area here. You know, like this guy said something that may have affected this person negatively. So we should look into this kind of thing.
But that's been happening his whole life. Anything that's different, people are always going to draw attention to it.
Yeah.
Some people are going to ridicule it and point at it, and some people are going to embrace it and appreciate it. So it's like, fuck them. Who cares?
It's
not gonna
such a
make it.
thick issue, and I like at the end of the day, the thing that was on Facebook today was that they had the big Quebec Art Awards or whatever, and Mike won an
saw
award. So all the performers went on stage with surgical masks with X over their
for
face,
censorship.
which was also his album cover, like a red X across his mouth. So. Yeah,
Was this on a television special that aired, or in a live?
I think it was.
performance?
It was a live.
Okay.
No, it was a DVD that he put out. I guess
And why-
like 5 years ago too. Like it took a long time for all
The
this.
attraction.
Yeah,
Isn't it sad?
it's a sad story. Like this kid is.
That was
this
raped.
guy-
Sorry, I had to try to keep
Yeah,
that in
yeah.
the mix.
It's a sad story. Like this kid.
I heard
tried
Andre
to
Arruda
Right.
raped that other guy.
see that. Well, now you're getting sued.
Andre, oh fuck, what are they gonna take my black T-shirts? Enjoy. I hope you're a big fan of Swedish death metal, because as much as those shirts are not replaceable, I can buy new ones.
Yeah. So that's I believe that case is all finished up now, and it was scary because if they came down really hard on Mike, like that could set a precedent across the board, and then
I
next
would
thing
be
you
out
know,
of a job.
you
in
would
this country.
you and I would be
definitely. But you know what? I'm inviting those challenges.
yeah, of course,
Fuck them.
fucking rights.
Take my shirts.
Do it, like
It's a weird thing.
yeah.
Well, do you have any idea what the consequences would have been if he had been charged? Like, was it imprisonment? Is that
No,
what
it
they're
wasn't. It
gonna
wasn't a
go
criminal
for?
charge. It was almost
Payoff?
It was what Mike describes as an extortion. Like, hey, you offended my son, give us $80,000 kind of thing. And that's how
So
Mike
the
felt. I'm not
parents-
saying I said that. I'm saying Mike said that from the articles I read.
Yes.
So again, like Mike's lawyers were like,
Extortion.
just fucking throw some money at him and make it go away. And he was
No,
like,
the
no, I'm going to
morality-
stand up
it's
for this
bigger than
because
that.
like I should be able to say
And it actually
literally
pisses
anything.
me off that he's got 80 grand and I don't.
Yeah. He's a superstar in Quebec. They have like an actual star system in Quebec. Like
Yeah.
he's a celebrity.
Oh, I believe it. It's that European influence. They're
they support their own.
musicians, comedians,
Yeah.
all artists. Just walk around Montreal and look at the graffiti.
And walk up to any Torontonian right now and say, "What's your favorite Canadian television show?" And they'll laugh in your face. Like,
Yeah.
like they couldn't fucking give a rat's ass about Canadian television.
They
the
do
complete
have a
difference.
sense of community.
Yeah, they support their artists, and they go out and see their shows and listen to their radio programs and buy their DVDs.
And also outside of their own community too, they're always looking for a lot of people come over from France and stuff and
Yeah.
do shows and whatnot.
Yep. Yeah. It's
And
very
how
unique.
Strip clubs in Montreal.
They're
you
the
ever been
best.
to the Burnt Weasel? it's
No,
You've never gone to the Burnt Weasel?
No, I've never been to the Burnt Weasel.
It's just a piece of plywood with holes drilled in it.
Oh yeah.
With roast beef sandwiches stapled to the back of them.
And then you put whatever you want inside it.
Yeah, you can do what you
You
like.
do what you like.
I've
burnt
only
weasel.
read the brochure. I'm on their mailing list. But
I remember asking somebody, like, why is there so many, like, beautiful strippers in Montreal? And again, because Quebec, they're very different from the rest of the country. If, a beautiful girl is 18 years old and she lives in, some butt-fuck town in the middle of Quebec, like, it's very acceptable for her family to go, like, yeah, go to Montreal for 3 years and make, $250,000.
Yes.
And then...
in the first year.
Yeah. In the first year, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Yeah, and a hot with a girl with professional, they can make bang.
Sure. So it's not like a poo-pooed thing. It's not not something you should be embarrassed about. If you're a hot girl and you're 18 years old, yeah, go off.
If I was
and
an 18-year-old girl and I wasn't even hot,
I would be in the shower right now.
I'd be pushing my pussy up against windows and go, "Who's buying?" It look like the bottom of a dog's foot. I'd have it.
It would have a dog ear hanging out of it. It would. What's
dog
up,
ear,
pussycat?
old patches. I don't know how they.
Ugh, what's it doing? The cat is
He's
just
looking
twitching.
at you, licking his
He
lips.
I know, and he twitched at me. Like
Yeah.
his whole body
Look,
retched.
He's setting up for a jump. He's just gonna land
Is
on
that
your
what's going-
neck.
Yeah.
He jumped up behind me.
I know. I saw that.
I'm gonna put a parrot on him. Crazy glue it to his back.
Pirate cat.
Pirate cat, patched one eye. And what do you got coming up? You're at the Rivoli tonight.
I'm at the I'm doing some shows all week here in Toronto.
That's
When's
great.
this gonna upload?
I'm gonna upload this tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. So yeah, and
Today's
then
the Monday.
Monday.
the
Monday. That's a day. In
May?
May. Monday in May.
Monday, May.
Tomorrow. So with the day that this comes out, it's Tuesday. I'll be at the Drake. Wednesday at Spirits, and then all week in Montreal at the Comedy Nest. And I'll go check out the burnt squirrel or whatever he calls
Yeah,
it.
go to the Burnt Squirrel. Ask for Mud Whistle Joe. and people go. Is it Zedlacher.com?
Zedlacher.com. I haven't maintained my website very well because social media has taken over. But yeah, Facebook.com/Zedlacher. You can find me there, or at Zedlacher on Twitter, or at Zedlacher on Instagram.
Fantastic.
Oh, LinkedIn. Make sure to give me some.
I don't even know
endorsements.
what that is. I don't know what that is.
LinkedIn.
I was looking at my LinkedIn account today, and I'm like, what is going on
Why would I
here?
bother? Yeah.
Is this like through association?
Yeah,
It
it's
is,
it's a business-based Facebook is basically what it is.
Oh,
So
okay.
I joined it thinking, I was going to get some writing gigs out of this.
Yes.
So I created a writing account, and now I just log on there once every 4 months, and then read all these emails from like, hey, can you help me get a writing job?
Yeah.
Hey, can you get me a writing gig? Hey,
yeah,
can you
yeah,
read
yeah.
my script? Hey, I'm like, oh, why? No,
You're
I'm done.
bombarded.
Yeah.
So don't contact Pete.
No, don't do the LinkedIn. Yeah, just do follow on Twitter. I'm pretty good on Twitter.
Follow Pete on
Yeah.
Twitter. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, that's it. We're done. Oh, I thought I was gonna get like, when's the bottle of piss gonna fucking come flying out?
No. I got a bag of dead squirrels up on there. I'm gonna beat you over the back. And but I know you got a show to go to.
I do.
And it's cool.
Yeah, I'm at the Riv. So
Awesome, buddy. Thank
cool.
you.
Thanks, bud. Yeah.
Don't kiss me on the mouth. Don't ask if you're hurting me. And if you hear the safe word, stop what you're doing immediately. Do you have pantyhose?